Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. This face today, this no makeup face, hair tied in a low bun. We are getting things done around the house and I can't wait to show you what we are up to. I have a tiny one already yelling for my name. And that starts off this voiceover. This is why I do so many voiceovers, is because it is quite hard to film with kids in the background and like all the extra noise, especially when I just have really tiny ones. And I am the mom. Like we don't have a nanny or anything like that. They're just always with me. And I love it that way. I want it to be that way. It just makes things like this a little bit harder, but that's okay because I actually enjoy listening to people's voiceovers where it's not just like, and now I am scrubbing off the soap dispensers. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, did you dump that? Yeah, that looks fun. I love when people do voiceovers and you can basically just kind of get a glimpse into what's going on in their life, get to know them a little bit better. That's all I was trying to say before I showed you what happened with Isla's basket. She was so excited to dump that out on the floor. I could not burst her bubble. We are just in that phase right now, and that is totally okay. Okay, I think I've escaped for a couple minutes. I'm actually about to wax my eyebrows while part of dinner is cooking. We are having chicken with nachos tonight. Or nachos with chicken tonight. Pregnancy brain, that's what I was going to talk about. I am 33 weeks pregnant. Hence why I look like this, because I was like, you know what? I'm just filming. They will understand. 2 toddlers, 33 weeks pregnant. I'm tired. I know you can't really tell, but I am carrying this baby very low. Very low. Like when I sit down, my stomach is just resting on my legs. So I can't wait to do a pregnancy update. So far, I've actually been feeling really, really good aside from the first trimester, but that's all gone and done, which is so nice. And this baby kicks all the time. My stomach is hard as a rock, as you can see. And we don't know if the baby is a girl or a boy. So we will find that out at birth, which will be really fun. So we are just going to wax my eyebrows real quick. I've been doing this for years and have saved so much money. That being said, I am actually licensed to do this. So yeah, just proceed with caution if you're gonna do it yourself. You need to do your own research on that because I see some horrifying videos out there. But we're just gonna wax these up really quickly. What I was trying to say with the soap, the reason I was doing the soap refills, even though the bottles weren't completely empty, I usually wait till they're empty, is because I am nesting hardcore, okay? Trying to get the house as ready for baby as possible. And I know everybody says like ready for baby. I'm past that stage now. The stage I'm at is like, get the house ready for me to be able to survive without having to think too much into things for hopefully like several weeks. I usually keep those soaps on hand, like extra on hand, those big refills. And I knew I was out of some of them, so I just need to reorder. That's all I was trying to say. Okay, how do we like? Wait for it to dry. This one's probably good. You guys want to see? Of course you do. Isn't that wild? As you can see, a lot of my eyebrow hairs are blonde, so you can't really see them, but then when I clean it up, it's like, oh, that is so much better. At least for myself. I'm sure nobody else even notices it, but for myself, I'm like, yeah, I needed some help. All I use is just like a spoolie on the end of my like little eyebrow pencil to brush them. I've already trimmed them. I guess I should have shown that, but I did that like hours ago while I was in the bathroom, and then decided I think I just need to go for like a full wax on these guys. So it's kind of crazy because my eyebrows and my eyelashes are still blonde. My hair is still technically considered blonde. My like natural roots, it comes off a lot darker on camera. My hair has gotten darker with each baby. So when I pull, like when my hair is down and I pull my hair out to the side, you can actually see bands of where my hair has darkened with each baby. This doesn't happen to everybody, but it can happen in pregnancy. and it has happened for me. So my hair has gotten much darker over the years. And the reason it looks like this, with like my money piece not being done, no highlights moved up, nothing like that. For the longest time, I have been trying to decide what I want to do. Do I want to grow out my natural color? The only thing is, like, my natural color is kind of like mousy. It's not like anything that really does anything for me, but it would be so much lower maintenance. Was trying to decide, should I move my highlights up, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, do I go get it done, or do I save the money and do it myself, since it's something I was literally trained how to do? The only thing is, it's hard to do like the back of your hair and like stand here for 4 hours just like foiling your hair. So that's my only apprehension, but I think I'm just going to do it myself before baby comes and get it refreshed. Yeah, like literally just like peach fuzz on the top for me. My nails, I don't really do my nails anymore. I typically have my toes done, but I do them myself, again, with gel at home. I actually just gave myself a pedicure today, and let me tell you guys, I was surprised I could even bend over that far to do that. My legs did start going to sleep, but gave myself a pedicure. Didn't quite get to the nail polish part, but I try to keep up with these things on my own just because they are so expensive to go and have done. And I just feel like I stay home, and part of my, like, I've always said this, but like part of my blessing towards my family, learning how to steward our money well and how to not just flush it down the drain. And that's not saying like if you go get pedicures that you're flushing your money down the drain. That's saying, like, for me, I know how to do it myself. Like, I spent how many, it's got to be like $20,000 I probably spent to learn how to do this myself. And it's really nice to go get it done once in a while. And I probably will go get a pedicure like once before the baby comes, just when my belly gets really, really big, as if it isn't already. For now, I will just do it myself. All right. I think you've heard enough of me just like chatting away while I'm doing my eyebrows. So I thought I would speed this part up for you. This is where I dye my eyebrows. This is another one of those things where I was paying somebody $20 to do it, and I was like, why? I bought a $20 kit. It probably wasn't even $20, and it's lasted me since before Logan was born, so almost 4 years. Anyway, I just go ahead and put on all of the dye, and then you wait for it to dry like 10 minutes and then wipe it off with water. It's really, really simple. I sped this part up just because I was kind of explaining it to you guys, but honestly, it's like plain and simple. But I have heard if you need to get it at like a drugstore, you can use like the Just for Men stuff, which is pretty much what I'm explaining here to you. I have not personally used the Just for Men stuff, but I've heard it works great. I ran to the farmer's market today. Well, I should say we, the family. It was so much fun. I thought I would just do a quick little haul, show you what we got. We grabbed some sweet potatoes. I'm really the only one who likes these, so I only grabbed 3 of them. Grabbed some of these purple Brussels sprouts. How cool are these? These are awesome. They're kind of small, but homegrown. A bunch of carrots. We grabbed some garlic. I'm actually just going to roast these up in the oven and make roasted garlic. Probably put them in some sourdough, bagels, something like that. Carrots I have no plans for. Brussels sprouts will be like in the oven with maybe like salt and pepper and oil or something like that at 425. You just roast them up. These are going to be roasted for a lot less time than our regular Costco sized ones. And then the kids are playing dinosaur over there. And then I grabbed some of these beautiful onions. They are really gorgeous. So those will just be used throughout the week as I'm cooking. Oh, I forgot to finish my thought on the Brussels sprouts. I usually, after I roast these, toss them with buffalo sauce and honey, and it's so good. The last thing that I got from our farmer's market haul that I'm so excited about are these apples. They might not look like anything special, but the kids each ate one in the car, and oh my gosh, I tried some. They are so good. These are called Evercrisp apples. I've literally never heard of them before. They have 0 give to them, which I love. That's what I always look for in an apple, no matter what kind it is, what season it is. I always look to see if it can be pushed in, because even if you can push it in just a little bit, it's going to be kind of mealy. So we tried these. They're super juicy, super crisp. They're called Evercrisp. I think I said that, but they're a cross between Honeycrisp and Fuji. All of this together was $20. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. But I just love going to the farmer's market. Like in the summertime, I love, love, love it. This around the house vlog is just kind of a hodgepodge of things that really needed to get done, and it kind of took place over several days. Some of this footage, even I've been waiting a while to use it because it got corrupted, but somehow I got it back. Anyway, this magical product, I have talked to you guys so many times over on my Instagram stories about it, and I just need to show you how amazing this is. So you see these dark spots that are right on this middle thing in our sink. I chose to get this middle thing in our sink. It's kind of like a halfway one. It doesn't go all the way up, and I love it because we constantly are defrosting meat. So in that side on the left, like I don't always have to get out a bowl, you know what I mean? Like I like having the division, but we're constantly laying our pots and pans here in order to clean them, especially cast iron, right? So using this bone amuse stuff, which by the way I get on Thrive Market, how many do I get? I think it's like 2 of them for like $3 or something. They're a great price. All you do is wet down your little rag, pour the powder right on there, and these are all clean and safe ingredients. And then you just scrub, and it takes all these marks away like magic. I have used it on my Dutch oven as well, and it works perfect to clean that pot too. I bet it would work great on toilets if you really needed it to, like if you needed something more natural to scrub. I've also heard pumice stones work really great on toilets, but that's kind of like another topic. But I really love this bone amuse stuff for how cheap it is. Clean ingredients. It's been around forever. It's basically like Comet, but with better for you ingredients, which is just what I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for like the better alternative. Sometimes I feel like those can cost more, but in terms of cleaners, I feel like I've really got it narrowed down to the best cleaners for cheap. And that's the Bone Ami. And then the other thing that I use is the Force of Nature cleaner, which is always linked down in my bio. But here we are cooking dinner for the night. And this has been Logan's favorite way for me to cook chicken. Logan is our 3-year-old. And all I have been doing is taking chicken breast, putting it in the oven at like 400 for, I don't know, I want to say like 25 minutes or just until it's done. And it's covered in butter and seasonings. And then when it comes out, I just like kind of tent it with some foil as much as I can. It'll cook a little bit longer with the foil on there, but mainly what I'm trying to do is lock in those juices, and it works out perfectly. And then you can put this on anything, and you can season it however you want too. Like you could season it with taco seasoning, you could season it like how I did, which was just salt, garlic powder, and oregano this time. I've also done it with the meat and potato seasoning from Primal Palette. I get that on Thrive as well. And that was a huge hit. Everybody loves when I cook chicken this way, and it's been so much easier because I feel like anytime that I have to cook chicken on the stovetop, it just makes a mess with splattering grease, and I really don't want to have to clean the stove every single time I want to cook chicken. You know what I mean? So I'm just cutting up some green olives here, which by the way, are you guys like a green olive or a black olive family? Because the other day I tried to buy a can of black olives and put it in like a pasta salad or something. I can't remember what I put it in. Maybe I put it on pizza for us. And I did not realize how our taste buds had changed. I've never minded black olives until I tasted it that time, and I was like, no, I am into green olives. I do not like black olives anymore. So we are definitely a green olive family. Or are you a family who just doesn't like olives in general? Because I know they can be kind of like a polarizing food. These ones we get from Costco, by the way. They're like the best price. Olives are so expensive, but these ones are a really good price. I think it's like $15 to $17 for 2 of those massive jars. We are making, I think I made nachos this night with the chicken, and it was so good. I showed you the cheese that I use on mine. It's a vegan queso blanco, and it is by the brand Good Foods. I find it at Target. And then all I'm doing is cutting this chicken into strips, and you guys, this chicken was amazing. It's so good. And then we're doing olives. You can see some cherry tomatoes there. We had mushrooms for Derek's. And then I was going to put on some shredded lettuce at the end too. And shredded lettuce makes a meal for me, like a sandwich, nachos, tacos. I am all about shredded lettuce. It must be the texture. I don't know if it's like the crispness or the freshness. I just love it. And I've been trying to keep like fresh iceberg lettuce on hand. And anyway, it's going well. It actually stays better in the fridge a lot longer than I thought, because if you buy the shredded lettuce like pre-bagged, it goes bad pretty darn quick, sometimes even before I can get around to using it. So we're making nachos. I have them cut into 4 sections here because everybody wanted their own section today. Logan's getting to that point where he like wants to make his own food and stuff like that. So I'm just making Derek's and mine and Isla's, and then he came along and made his own. I put a little bit of my queso on there because I like when it gets warm. I'm also using this queso, which is from the same company, but not the spicy kind. And them together is just like magic, okay? It's so good. I put chicken on mine, tomatoes, and then some shredded lettuce at the end, like I told you. And then one of my favorite salsas, which is this Jack's Cantina salsa. My other favorite salsa in the entire world that I have not had in years came from Costco in Hawaii. When we used to live in Hawaii, they had this salsa that was locally made there, and I have never been able to find it again. It never had like a brand on it or anything like that. But it came with a jalapeno in, like a full jalapeno in the salsa, and you could cut it up and put it back in the salsa for however hot you wanted to make it. So anyway, it's been the best salsa ever. I literally cannot stop thinking about it now, and now I'm starving and would like a bowl of chips and salsa. I am making some homemade cinnamon rolls here. I love making sourdough. I don't love the time that it takes, but it's really quite simple. That being said, these sourdough cinnamon rolls right here, oh my goodness, the amount of like exact measurements they needed and steps and stuff like that, I just don't know if I'm going to do it again, to be honest with you. I froze what we did not eat. So we have individual cooked cinnamon rolls to pull out like whenever we want to, and that has been great. But my gosh, the amount of work that went into this. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, why didn't you just buy it at the store? One, you can't buy gluten-free and dairy-free cinnamon rolls at the store. I made these, they're not gluten-free, but they are dairy-free, but they're sourdough, and I long ferment all of my sourdough, no matter what it is. And that way it eats up a ton of the gluten. I think there's only like 3% of the gluten left or something along those lines. Anyways, you can see I'm just rolling it up here. This is the first time I've ever made cinnamon rolls, so you're going to see me mess this up. I thought I rolled it tight enough. You're going to see I did not. But that's okay. They still turned out and they tasted really good. They got a little bit crunchy on top. So again, it was kind of one of those things where it's like I was craving cinnamon rolls. I've been craving it this entire pregnancy, and I just decided, okay, I'm going to finally make them. And you know what? Now I have them on hand. They're good to go. But would I spend the time to make them again? Probably not. Like, literally, look at me. I'm using a tape measure. Ridiculous. But I did use the cast iron to cook them. I know you can use like a glass baking dish or whatever you want to use, but I really enjoyed using the cast iron. I thought it worked out really well. All the butter did melt before they even went in to the oven. You can see right here, like all that melted butter right there. But the rolls kind of soak them up as they come out in the end. This is how they came out. They are not the prettiest. I obviously didn't roll them tight enough. Who knew? I thought I was doing really well, but that's okay. We're going to take these out. I already kind of tasted one of them and they're so good. We're going to take them out and frost one. I am going to try and find this exact recipe that I used down below. I know some of you guys are probably going to want to make it, even though I just literally talked about how hard it was to make these. It really wasn't hard. It was just a little bit time consuming, but I made this homemade frosting from the recipe that she had on her site, which is just on the same recipe. And I used the Kite Hill dairy-free cream cheese, in case you're wondering, just in the kind plain, and frosted these guys up and then let them cool completely. And whatever I did not get around to eating, which I think we ate 3 this day, they are individually in the freezer and ready to go. So I guess that can be considered like a freezer meal. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today. We'll see you next time. Bye.